Grant Nickalls, Huntsville, Doppler, and this is our town. When I was a young boy, too young to truly appreciate and respect the time, my grandfather took me for a walk through the woods by Oxbow Lake, telling me about all the different trees, the things that you could eat in the woods if you had to, how to build a shelter, find a place to stay for the evening if you were lost or darkness was upon you. I remember picking raspberries with my grandfather and my youngest sister Karen, and just down the raspberry patch was a black bear, also doing the same thing. And I remember my grandfather just looking at me and saying, "Don't worry about him. You don't bother him, he won't bother you." My grandfather never really talked much about the war, so when he did, I listened. I remember a story he told me about how on 2 separate occasions the young soldier beside him was shot and killed. How he held the one young man and literally felt the life leave his body. I remember him telling me how he got separated from the rest of the soldiers and a family in France took him in. Years later, my parents went to visit that family's children. I remember him telling me stories about being in swamps for weeks, not sleeping for days, too afraid to close his eyes. But the story that always stuck with me the most was a story he told me about how when he was separated from the rest of the soldiers, he was walking through the woods, and in the distance he saw another soldier approach him. The German soldier. They both held their own, kept walking towards each other. Neither one of them raised their weapon, but they kept walking towards each other until finally they met, not a word spoken. They passed each other, both of them glancing over their shoulder as the other went by, realizing that it wasn't their war. This Remembrance Day, take the time to remember the women and the men who have served and continue to serve our country. Just take a little bit of time. Grant Nickalls, Huntsville, Doppler. In this is our town.